All systems go. Clear for liftoff.
Good morning or good afternoon, and welcome to this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit here for Ship It Nation. I am Eric, also known as TheGame on Discord, and this morning we will be discussing the Cracker Barrel 400 taking place at the Nashville Superspeedway. So go ahead and order up your favorite portion of hash brown casserole and shrimp and grits and whatever else they have on the menu. Have a seat and enjoy this weekend's NASCAR Quick Hit once again for Ship It Nation. Before we go ahead and discuss tonight's slate, because it's a Sunday night race and there's no holiday tomorrow, which is kind of weird, let me, of course, mention us here at shipitnation.com. Where's my mouse? I found it. Boom. Share this tab, Eric. All right. Shipitnation.com, your one-stop shop for all things you need to have success with the DFS for less. That's right. Everything you need to have fun and be successful in this game of daily fantasy sports for less here at shipitnation.com. You already know we have Major League Baseball in full swing. I am not a everyday baseball player to the boys and girls who do grind out baseball and baseball content every single day. You get my my admiration, because that is a grind. Golf is in full swing, as we all know. MMA, UFC is almost every single weekend. Yesterday's UFC card started at 4 a.m. and the Discord channel was lively, which is another reason to love the nation. Of course, we have NASCAR every weekend, for the most part anyway. And college football and the NFL are quite literally right around the corner. It's June, like tomorrow, and that football will be here way before you know it. So shipitnation.com, your one-stop shop for everything you need for DFS. Of course, you click up here in the join and you see everything we have. Of course, 5 days all access for $19. If you haven't tried the nation out yet, you can't beat it. 5 days, $19. You get everything, including Discord access, which our Discord community is fantastic for all sports, as well as you get SaberSim access as well. So SaberSim, number one optimizer in the industry. You get all sports, projections, ownership, tools, the stone, which we'll be showing off here this morning, rankings, slate plans, core reports, player pools, slate information, education courses by Hoop Tambo and the boys, a fantastic Discord community, and more for just $19 for 5 days. Of course, if you already know how great the nation is, we have annual packages, monthly packages, weekly packages for all different levels. We have content packages for just the content, no optimizer. And of course, we have single sport access as well. So if you just want me, and hey, who wouldn't, right? I mean, we have a great team, but if you just want me, monthly, $29 a month, or with our content for NASCAR and SaberSim, $49 a month. So all kinds of options to join shipitnation.com, shipitnation.com, everything you need to have success with DFS for less. All right, let's go ahead here. Actually, let me sign in because I'm going to be using the stone this morning. All right, here you see my government email. Let me go ahead here and share this tab instead. Once again, Cracker Barrel 400 taking place at the Nashville Superspeedway. My family's Cracker Barrel fans, so this was not planned, but I might have to talk the wife into so we can get Cracker Barrel takeout for tonight, because it would be perfect. Anyway, this weekend the Cup Series race is on Amazon Prime, with pre-race coverage beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, with race coverage starting at 7 p.m. Eastern. So, I'm not necessarily sure why we have back-to-back night races. I'm not complaining. I enjoy night racing. I would just much rather prefer those night races be on a Saturday when it's not a holiday weekend. Last weekend was Coke 600, Memorial Day weekend, which makes sense. This isn't, at least as far as I know, unless there's some holiday I'm totally missing tomorrow. So a weird random Sunday night race, but hey, we're in her. Also, on a total side note, nothing to do with DFS, Amazon Prime gets hate by a certain segment of race fan, and I gotta be honest with you, I don't get it because it's great. We as NASCAR fans are lucky to have Amazon Prime coverage. They do a fantastic job covering the sport. They handled last week's Kyle Busch stuff so well. Now, would Fox or NBC also handle it as well? Sure. Or TNT, who I forget who everybody's broadcasting NASCAR anymore, right? But they do such a good job that if it was up to me, Prime would have literally the entire NASCAR calendar for all divisions. So, Amazon Prime, while some people hate them, gosh, I love them, and I hope they're around for years and years to come. Anyway, off of that soapbox, tonight we have 300 laps scheduled, which should equal out to roughly 210 Dominator points that we will want to target. Tonight is a 2 or 3 Dominator build. You can, as I did some practice builds earlier, you can fit 3 Dominators in and not feel too awful about your lineup. But we do have some juicy place differential plays. So I feel like if you forego a third Dom, you're gonna grab a second high-end place differential play. So options this evening. Anyway, let's go ahead and pull up the stone. This weekend, I can't do 2 things at one time, apparently. This weekend, Goodyear has brought am I sharing the right tab? I am. Goodyear has brought a tire combination that has been used multiple times this season. Now, Nashville is a concrete racetrack, so it is different in that aspect, and it is not as high banked as the other 1.5 mile tracks. I think Nashville's a 1.3 mile concrete racetrack, and most of the other tracks have been 1.5 mile high banked racetrack. But still, this is the same exact tire combination that has been used at Darlington, Las Vegas, Kansas, Texas, and just last week at Charlotte. So the exact tire combination that's been used, that is being used today, has already been used at Vegas, Darlington, Kansas, Texas, and Charlotte just this year. And those are the races I used to build the track type rank category on the stone this week. So if you are looking for drivers who are fast on this tire combination this season, I would probably start with the track type rank column on the stone. Just saying. This weekend, qualifying was rained out once again. Ever since Kyle passed, it's been rain for qualifying. It's like he's playing one big joke on us up there. So qualifying was rained out. However, practice was indeed held just like last weekend with one big group for 45 minutes. Last weekend, I kind of dismissed the practice data, and that was to my detriment. I mean, I still profited last weekend. Members of the nation still had a fantastic weekend. But if I probably would have looked at that practice data a little bit more and relied on it a little bit more, I probably could have did a lot better. So I'm not ignoring practice data this week at all. And since the starting lineup was set by the rule book, we have most of the usual suspects starting up towards the front. But like I said, we do have some good place differential plays like Chase Elliott, Chase Briscoe, Ross Chastain, Cindric, Zilich, etc. in the back. So practice was practice. Lord, I love these 45 minutes. Everybody on the track at one-time practice sessions. More of those, please. Let's see here. Weather forecast. I am not a weatherman. I do not have a fancy subscription to windy.com. Shout out to the big guy. However, I do have access to good old weatherunderground.com. And this is the forecast for Nashville today. Look, that's that blue graph right there is the chance of rain. And it's, 4 o'clock, 64% chance, 5 o'clock, 44% chance, 35, 17. It drops the closer or the later it gets in the day, which is good for us. However, we all know forecasts can change. This rain could easily get pushed back to later on in the day. So, I'm playing regardless of the rain, but if you are someone who doesn't like to play slates, if it has the potential of being rained out and or rain delayed, I would keep an eye on this weather. If there are any rain delays or anything like that, I will tag the Discord as always. But yeah, it's not exactly a perfect forecast for today. It looks like they're definitely getting rain at some point. It's just, when. I should even say definitely at some point, but it's definitely pretty high up there in the graph. So it remains to be seen if everything gets in on time. Now, on the positive note, the Truck Series, the Truck Series race on Friday night was rain delayed, and they waited very late to get that whole thing in. So I would assume they'll do the same for the Cup Series if that were to happen. I can't imagine they would wait all day and night for the Truck Series to get that in on the scheduled day, and they wouldn't do the same for the Cup Series. So that is a positive, but let's just hope that the weather stays away and that it's smooth sailing. Also, this is not a racetrack for rain tires, so if it would rain, we're waiting it out. So fingers crossed that we don't have any rain. All right, let me go back to the stone here. What else do I have to spiel on? There's only been 4 races at Nashville in the next gen era. So the track rank column is only 4 races in 4 years. And it's been won from a smattering of starting positions. Chase Elliott won the inaugural next gen race here in 2022, and he won that from 4th starting position. And then Ross Chastain, who is one of our juicy place differential plays today, he won it from the pole back in 2023. So that would lead you to believe, okay, starting up front, you win this race. However, good old Joey Logano, Slowy Logano, however you want to call him anymore, he won it in 2024 from 26th. Excuse me. And then Ryan Blaney just last year won it from 15th. So this is the type of track where I prefer to play drivers starting up towards the front because passing sometimes can be difficult, especially in the next gen car. However, we have seen for just these past 2 years that Logano and Blaney have won this race from deep in the field. So you can't be too afraid of the place differential plays when for the past 2 years, someone has won it from deep in the field. So positives there. All right, that's my last of my notes here. So let's go ahead and do a quick rundown of the starting lineup. Like I said, it was set via the rule book, and practice was ran 45 minutes, one big group. And as expected, the rule book, when you set the lineup via the rule book, it is your last week's performance combined with your point position. I think it's like a 70-30 mix. I forget which one's the 70 and which one's the 30. So we have a lot of the usual suspects up top. Starting on the pole and on the front row is, of course, the Toyota teammates of Denny Hamlin and Tyler Reddick. Your 1A, 1B Dominator choices, to be honest with you. I really don't love the idea of playing them together. And I think this is Denny's race to dominate in the beginning. He had fantastic speed throughout all practice, which is to be expected. However, if he would slip in the beginning, it wouldn't be surprising to anybody at all to see Red Dog take over, take the lead, and set sail, right? So Denny and Tyler, fantastic Dominator options. I don't love the idea of playing them together. However, I also wouldn't be surprised to see them finish 1-2 tonight, because that's the kind of season it's been. Mi Amigo, last weekend's emotional winner, is starting third. Hey, I wrote off the Spire cars like SVG and stuff last weekend. Like there was no shot they were going to be able to stay up towards the front, and guess what? They did. So, do I again feel personally that Suarez will stay up front all day and be a threat to win? I don't. However, he has a B for track type rank, and that is this year on this exact same tire combination. So I think a lot of people will ignore him. I could see him being top 10, right? Is that losing you place differential? Yeah, but it would still be a fantastic day at that price. So I think it's worth a look. Christopher Bell is a fantastic play today. He is fantastic on concrete. He had fantastic practice. Great so far this season on this for the track rank. Bell, fantastic play today. Larson, fantastic as well. We're still waiting for that Kyle Larson day, right? And I think like longtime fans will know what I mean by that. Just an ass kicking, right? We're just waiting for that Larson ass kicking, and we haven't had it for a while. Is that going to be today? I don't know, right? Toyota's still seem to be king, so still waiting for that Larson ass kicking. It's coming. It'll come at some point. I don't know if it's going to be today. Ty Gibbs, look, fast all season, fantastic in practice, great track type rank. Again, only a B- for the track rank, but that's only a sample size of 4 races in 4 years. So recent speed everywhere. Love me some Gibby today. Ryan Blaney, Lord, he's been so fast all season. It's hard to believe his team ruins him all the time on pit road. Yeah. He's probably my least favorite Dominator today. But he's still A+ across the board, and seems to be great as the race goes on. It's even better if his team doesn't lose him 3-4 spots on pit road every single time. So he should be in your Dom player pool for sure. How much exposure you have to him, I'll leave that up to you. Willie B and Joey Logano up next. Hey, if you want to even include Willie B in the Dominator pool, go ahead. I did not, just because of the Bs and because they just haven't had that Hendrick speed so far this season. But it wouldn't be surprising to anybody. I have lights flickering above me at the moment. I really hope that's not the power getting ready to go out, and instead just light bulbs going to go bad. So fingers crossed on that. I'm not including him in mine, but I would understand if you would include him in your player pool. William Byron, I mean. Joey Logano, he's good here. He's won, right? I think I said he won from 26th in 2024. He was good last week. He's burned us so many times though this season, so he's still buyer beware for me. Shane Van Gisbergen, fantastic week last week. Very, very, very surprising. He was so good last week. I'm still not on that train as of yet, so he's going to be a fade for me. Zane Smith, I wish he was starting deeper. So I'm probably not going to play him just because he's starting in 11th, but still, I consider him a safe driver. Again, I wish he was starting further back. I have to assume he'll be finishing in the 20s somewhere, but if he could pull off another top 10 day, it would be a fantastic day. Brad K and Eric Jones up next. I love Brad K all the time on these type of tracks. He has had great speed so far this season on this tire combination, so Brad is in play. Eric Jones, this isn't Darlington, so that's a pass for me. Mike Mack and Ricky Stenhouse Jr., they're also probably fades for me. Yeah, I'll probably include Mike Mack in the pool just because he's Inspired Motorsports and they do have speed this season. Ricky, though, was probably a fade. Allmendinger and Hocevar. Dinger will be a fade. Hocevar is always in play. The kid's fast. It's wild to see how much his salary has increased in DraftKings throughout the season. That's been fun to watch. So, Hocevar for sure. Bowman or Bubba and Bowman. Yep, I'll play both of them for sure. Cole Custer, that's a no for me, dog. Todd Gilliland and Chris Buescher, yes and yes. Always a proud member of the Gilly gang almost every week. Chris Buescher, fantastic on this tire combination and track type. Starting mid-pack, as long as he stays out of trouble, he should give you a nice positive day. So yes on Buescher. Herbst and Heim. Herbst, yup. Mid-pack 2311 car, absolutely. And now Corey Heim, welcome full-time to the NASCAR Cup Series next year. Heim time, finally. Corey Heim in the NASCAR Cup Series full-time starting in 2027. We don't have the gift of him starting dead last like we had last week. Still, he's starting 24th. No problem there. I believe he is taking Riley Herbst's ride next year. So Riley Herbst is officially in audition mode looking for a new ride. He has money behind him, and he has shown steady improvement this season. So I'd have to assume that Herbst will be somewhere next year. I'm going to say Herbst takes John Hunter's spot at Legacy next year. I'm not even sure if John Hunter's in a contract year, but I'm saying Herbst takes John Hunter's spot at Legacy next year. So Herbst and Heim both in play this week. Austin Hill, no. Sorry. Yeah, I think it still should be Jesse Love in that car. Noah Gragson, no. John Hunter, no. Ryan Preece, yup. Love me some Ryan Preece today, 7,600. I will take some of him. Chase Elliott, like I said, won this race back in, I gotta get my notes here, 2022 from 4th place today, starting all the way back in 29th. Fantastic practice speed as well. So if that speed holds up, he should be able to carve his way through the field. Ty Dillon, that's a pass. Chase Briscoe in a Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota, just like the other Chase. Fantastic speed in practice. It should be the Chase and Chase show as they carve their way through the field. Longtime NASCAR fans will get memories of the Dale and Dale show or the Kyle and Kyle show back in the old days. So be the Chase and Chase show today. Austin Dillon, no. I don't think much of Dillon today. Josh Berry, they haven't been great, have not been great. And he ran a ton of practice and was pretty slow in all of it. Like 13th, in the 30 lap out of 14 cars, not great. So probably no for me for Josh Berry. Same goes for Cody Ware. Ross Chastain, fantastic practice speed, fantastic track rank. Remember, like I said, he won this race from the pole in 2023, has showed speed here throughout the years. He hasn't been great recently, right? Not great on this tire combination so far this season. Not great recent form. Fast in practice, fast here, decently priced at 8,100. He will get a ton of ownership today, and for a good reason. As long as Trackhouse finally has everything sorted out, he should be able to get you a lot of positive place differential. With that said, he will be heavily owned. So, right. So how do you want to go overweight, underweight? I don't think it's completely fade situation for him. How much Ross do you want to play? I'll leave that up to you. Austin Cindric, yep, I will include him. He wasn't great in practice speeds either, but he is in a Penske car, so He shouldn't be 36th quick. Chad Fincham, no. And Connor Zilich, dead last. Gimme. Is it a Corey Heim situation like we had last week? No. Is it still a talented but raw driver in good-ish equipment? Yes. We're playing Ross probably heavily, and he starts 3 spots above him. Ross is in 35th, Connor's in 38th. They're in the same equipment, track house, and Zilich is so cheaper. Yeah, I will play. Has he raced here before in the Cup Series? No. Has he shown great speed this season on this higher combination? No. But the kid is talented. Those cars aren't completely junk. It's not like a Garage 66 car, right? So he should be able to get you a lot of positive place differential points today. How many? Who knows? But he should be able to have a good day. Fingers crossed. Anyway. All right. Hey, that is it for me. That's the last thing I have on my notes. So that means it's time to wrap it up. And this was 26 minutes long. I have barely gotten any sleep. I was at the dirt track playing the role of reporter last night. And then I got home and I built the stone, crashed, and woke up and made this video. So, yeah, we're going to finish some projections and ownerships here hopefully shortly and call it a perfect day. So thanks again for listening. Good luck in all of your slates. And as always, let's ship it.